Hello world, my name is Ihor and finally I got a bigger Eurorack case to play techno on it, exclusively on the modular without any drum machine or external gear involved. So this is the 7U performance case from Intelligil, and this is the very first build and a very first patch that I made on it. Let me play it and then I will break down what's going on here. Yeah, something like that. And now let me break it down real quick. When I was building this synthesizer, I thought about creating different sections, so that I can control and do not really confuse myself with stuff. So I tried to kind of create sections that related to each other, next to each other, and hopefully that will make more sense. So basically there is 4 sections and 2 modulation sources that I have. So the first section, I call it the main one. It's Metropolis, Bassline, and Manis. It's 2-voice synthesizer. The second section is a DFAM section. The third one is my drums. It's a BIA, Polaris as a filter, and then these 2 Legios, and they are flashed into the Timp Legio. And then the DOT from Dnipro, the Ukrainian guys. A really nice sequencer. So this is the drum section. And then there is also end of chain section with the Electus Versio, again, the Timp, because they can sidechain, dock the incoming stereo signal. That's they kind of part of the drum section, but also the master section. And the next one, again, is a Versio, but this one is a polydacryl Versio, which is multi-band end-of-chain stereo dynamic processor and saturator. So that's the main kind of section. And then I have Maestro and the Ponce Sinorum, which is not used in this patch anyways, but Maestro as modulation sources, which is a 5th section. Then the clock coming from Metropolis and all this stuff, and clocks everything around. So, and now let me try to demo each of the sections that I have. So I'm going to mute everything and let me start the clock and remove the reverb. So first one, again, Metropolis, the first track is playing 16th notes. Bassline, on the bassline. And then with CV control and cutoff control, we can perform. And also with loopy over here, if you click this one, we can repeat steps. That's what I did in the performance, like at the beginning and at the end as well. Or you can also repeat a few steps, like this or like this even. So, and then the second track goes into the manis iteratus, and it's playing only 6 steps. So I skipped 2 of these steps over here. So if I go exit from here, so I skipped both of these first steps, and then manis is only playing 6 steps, and I layer it on top of the bass line. So it's kind of a lead line. So they both go into this mixer channel 1 and 2, and then they go into the master section where I add some reverb from Electus. So I kind of add dark reverb to glue them together. So these are these 2. Then the DFAM also connected to this mixer, but to the 4th input, which is just kind of like straightforward without any attenuator. That's why I'm using this volume over here. And this is the noise with the VCA envelope. That's pretty much it for hi-hat. So this is like the worst value to HP utilization of DFAM actually to get noise and hi-hats. So that's pretty much it. And then the drums section, this one is quite interesting because first of all I have BIA, and if I am muted here, so I have this kind of sound. Also going through the mixer again into the reverb and stuff. So this kind of sound is drone or whatever. So, and then these 2, the Leggios, Timp Leggio, the one on the left is a kick drum and on the right is the clap. And it is quite interesting how these Leggios work because it has 2 inputs, like stereo audio input and stereo audio output, and it passes the audio through. Whatever audio comes here, it passes it through. And then if it's in a kick drum mode or in a snare or tom mode, it's gonna dock the incoming signal with the kick drum, mix it in, and pass it into the output. So I have, this is the kick drum, and this is a snare that I have. So let's have a listen to the kick drum first. So without anything. So this is a kick drum, and if I add bass line, so it's coming through the mixer into the Versio and then into the timp, and it docks the incoming signal. So if I mute it, no docking, right? The same thing does this Leggio because it's a timp Leggio as well. So if I unmute it, it's a clap or a snare or whatever. It also docks the incoming signal, incoming audio. So, and I put it at the end of the chain so that my kick does not dock the snare, but other way around. And then this one, the 3rd channel of the dot connected to the BIA. And we basically send like super simple sequences into the kick, into the clap, and into the BIA. The only thing I always mess up here is DFAM, because you have to set DFAM into the last step and then ARM for clock, and I always forget to do that. So now I think it's gonna be all right. Nice. And then I also have some modulation sources, and mainly I'm using the Maestro. So with Maestro, I decided to go for such an interesting thing here. So I have 6 outputs from Maestro going into 6 attenuators over here, 1 U modules here. And then I'm utilizing 3 of those to modulate manis and to modulate BIA pretty much. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this patch. Let's play it a little bit more. So the modulation from Maestro, the first track is a long, like 4 bars, I think, modulation, which goes up and down, and it modulates the Manis Ihor does saw modulation. It's pretty much similar to what I did in my previous video. You can check it over here. So with Maestro. The second track modulates the BIA, this kind of like this sound. Just create some kind of like additional modulations and stuff. And the third track is modulating again Manis but low pass filter. So it opens it up a little bit and then closes it. And attenuators, of course, control how much of the modulation is going to be passed into these guys actually. And then also on the kick drum I can shorten the decay to create like kind of energy break and maybe introduce something else. Then I can mute. And of course I did not start the DFAM correctly. And now I'm putting back the decay on the kick drum. Yeah. Dark reverb. And then at the end of the chain I have Polyacryl Versio, which is multi-band sound processing thing, stereo one actually, dynamic processor, sorry. And I'm basically compressing a little bit all the like lows and mids and highs and saturating it a little bit. It can saturate quite a lot. So this saturation circuit here is quite interesting because it saturates both incoming signals, like incoming bands, and also the outcome, the mixed signal at the end, as far as I understood. Anyways, an amazing thing to have it here. And also I lowered the volume of the mids a little bit because it was a little bit too much. So, quick mastering thing. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you've learned something new for yourself that you can apply to your own music production workflow, or at least got inspired to go and make music. If you consider to support me, there is Patreon, check link in the description. Also, I put affiliate links to all kinds of different gear that I feature in my videos in the description as well, so you can use those links to purchase gear that you need. You don't have to, but if you use those links, they're gonna support this channel as well with a little commission. Also, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit this bell button to support. Nice. And if you would like to check other Patch from Scratch videos, you can check either this one or that one. I appreciate you, and until the next time, have fun.